Very good afternoon and welcome out to Casey Fields for the round 5 Swisse Wellness VFL Women's clash between Cranbourne and Seaford. Anthony Stangett's with you, joined in commentary today by Trent Knight and Callum O'Connor. It is Seaford going to the right of screen during this first term and Cranbourne to the left as Moody gets the kick down towards half forward. McLeod, quick transition inside forward 50. They kick forward. That was Moody of the Cara variety. Sisters in today's game. McLeod! Oh, hits the post. So within the first 20 seconds of the game, Cranbourne on the scoreboard as they introduce and welcome Trent Knight.
Thank you very much, Anthony. As Seaford look to break defensive 50 quickly. The kick in coming from none other than Barker out towards defensive 50. Players dive over the top of the football and we will see a bounce under picturesque conditions out here at Casey Fields for round 5 action. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's live on vfl.com.au. Ball was thrown up. Moody got the tap down. Jacobson fighting hard to control the ball, but we'll see it thrown in once again. So quick minute of play. Cranbourne one behind. Seaford yet to score. Waiting to be thrown back in. Doing the ruck work will be Cutting for the Eagles, and she gets the tap down. Players breaking behind the pack, and that's very well done. The Cranbourne Eagles will push inside forward 50 again. McLeod worked underneath it. Coming in for a very strong tackle there was Sheldon, and we will see another bounce. Barker, Jenna Barker coming off the bottom of that pack as well. So minute and a half gone, one behind.
Ball in the middle of Casey Fields. Kick inside forward 50 once again. The work by Tatham, but the mark taken in defence by Seaford. They bring it out to the broadcast side. Gillespie Jones, strong mark out in front. Looking for the options further afield. Broadcast side wing. No one wanted the football on that occasion. Comes out to the back. Cranbourne got the numbers. Handball over the top by Pearce. Trying to get it on to Marsh. Handball's back to Pearce. They go out wide, but Seaford just keep the ball in play. Pushing it in front of herself was Carlson. Now good work by Cox. Up towards half forward for Seaford. Good work in defence by Binder. Chain of handballs, Wilds. They go wide. Johnson out towards half forward. McLeod territory again. Jones got the job on her tonight. Inside forward 50. Ball just going over the line in front of Clarkson, and we'll see a boundary throw in deep in the right forward pocket for Cranbourne. Only 3 minutes gone first term. Welcome to our viewers on vfl.com.au. We'll bring you the results from the other game in Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. It was Darebin taking on Melbourne Uni, and that was in the third term, and Darebin were in the lead in that contest.
So the ball's come back into the middle of the ground now, and the Eagles' defensive wall set up nicely. We'll bring in a second, Brennan, as it's kicked back inside forward 50, but there's just Seaford sitting underneath that pack. And they will try once again to rebound. Looking to bring it out broadcast side of the ground. It wasn't the best of kicks, but did well. Dropping a mark she should have taken was in near. Had to go back and collect her own work, but Kuniko collects. Kicks to the hot spot. Worked out from underneath it there was Garner. Players compete at the top of the goal square, but the Seaford have got the class to break 50 again, but there's a swarm of Eagles waiting for it. Players dive over the top of the football, just inside the centre square, Cranbourne side of the ground. And we will see another bounce.
And we can update you three-quarter time in the other game today. Is Melbourne Uni taking the lead, 4-3-27 to Darebin, 4-2-26. 1 point the margin going into that final term up at Hamilton.
Fantastic game happening between Uni and the Falcons, but we're going to see another bounce. Tilly did well to rove her own ruck work there, and she's called up for it again. But Moody's done really well to get that tap forward. She's punched it about 15 metres to her own team's advantage, and crashing through the pack there was Marsh. Kicks it to the hot spot, doing well to get front position though was Goodwin. She'll clear now through the outer side. It wasn't the best of kicks, left a lot to be desired. Olsen will take the mark And she will kick to the outer side, 65 metres from home. Clarkson took the ball uncontested, kicks it up. Well, it wasn't the best of kicks, but reading it well was Timmins. Around the body, the kick's bouncing towards goal. Having to be clever on the line, there was Clarkson. Had to dive over it, did well. Had her head ripped off, no free kick paid. Seaford now will clear it through Rogan. Skipper for Seaford doing some great defensive work early. The ball's going to be punched over the line. And we will see a boundary throw in. Lawrence defending against 2. Had to use the line well and did. So 5 minutes gone in this first quarter. Cranbourne 1 behind. Seaford yet to score. Live on VFL.com.au. Round 5 Swisse Wellness VFL women's action. As it's thrown back in as well. And we will see a too high free kick. I thought it might have gone the other way for holding the ball, but no. Cutting will take it. Too far out to score, so she goes in short. Couldn't quite hit up her teammate on the chest, but Adams does well to get a handball away, and she's actually given away the free kick for a throw. Applying some great defensive pressure there was Tatham. She looks up inside forward 50 now, and that's a long penetrating kick to the hot spot. It's a 3-on-3. Who wants it more? Seaford have got the numbers around the ball, but that tackling pressure is outstanding early. That tackle coming through there, it looks like it was Garner, and we will see a bounce 45 metres out from Cranbourne's goal.
So what can Seaford do? They clear through Hosking, out towards this broadcast side wing, but good intercept mark taken by Cunico. So she'll go back inside forward 50 once again for Cranbourne. Looking for her options, told to play on. Kicks inside forward 50. Gillespie Jones at the back of the pack. Cleans up, now looking for options for Seaford. Goes to the outer side, first to the football, Johnson. A good battle with Daly. Daly got the tap out, but Walker dispossessed. Outer side wing here at Casey Fields. And ticking over towards the 7-minute mark of this first term, just the 1 behind on the board. After an electric start, first 20 seconds that 1 behind was on the board. Defensive pressure now. Seaford facing it during this first quarter. Wilds inside forward 50. Cranbourne, they've got the numbers now. Garner. Ooh. Barker with the football. As we introduce to the broadcast today, Callum O'Connor, your thoughts on the early stages of this match?
Well, there's no doubt Cranbourne are getting all the early entry. More crucially, they're also setting up defensively just outside their 50. Seaford just not able to get beyond.
So trying to break through the lines was Mandile. She did well to get her second efforts away. Having the kick in towards the square was Kuniko again. She's been instrumental early at pressing forward. That ball going to the wrong side of the post, and we will see it thrown in. Ticking into 8 minutes into this first quarter. Live on VFL.com.au. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 5 action. Brought to you live from Casey Fields on this stunning Saturday afternoon. Thrown in. Seaford. They're going to get the numbers back behind the ball, but they just can't break this next kick. Across half back. Broadcast side of the ground, and that kick left a lot to be desired. Steph Cuttings had 3 or 4 intercept marks already across that half back line. Tried to hit up her teammate in Timmins. Had to go back and collect the second efforts, and now Seaford are away. Running through Walker. About to be dragged down. Being paid a downfield in the back free kick. She got her kick away. Left Cox with a little bit of work to do, but she'll collect the free kick nonetheless. Looks back inboard.
Good kick.
Good kick to half forward flank. Taking the mark there was Adams, who looks inside forward 50. That's loose manning up there by Cranbourne. You can't leave players on their own inside forward 50. And taking the mark on her chest there was Roland. Goes short into the pocket. And she finds Lawrence, who plays on quickly and has the shot. And that one's good. Lawrence turns around and goes bang. That's her first for the afternoon and also the games. And we have now a 5-point ball game on our hands. Seaford 1 straight 6. Leading Cranbourne 1 behind. We have gone 10 minutes of play in this first quarter. Live on VFL.com.au.
So it's interesting, the way that Cranbourne were going forward in those first 7 minutes when they had all the play, straight down the guts, was seemingly very easy for Seaford to pick off. You look at the difference there, where Cox went inboard, was able to find a player, and then they were able to move it on quickly. Lawrence finds the goal, a bit of different moving across the angles, and a bit of space to see if they were able to find to convert.
Well, totally against the grain of the contest so far, with Cranbourne dominating in their forward half, and probably only the second time Seaford going inside their forward half, and first time inside forward 50. And they get the straight kick and the goal on the board. They lead by 5 points. In the middle of Casey Fields is cutting. Works her way through up towards half forward. She was looking for McLeod and Moody. Good work from McLeod. Kicked a great goal against the Box Hill Hawks, pushing the ball in front of her in the last round a fortnight ago. Of course, the bye round last weekend in Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. Ball on the outer side. Good positioning by Lawrence. Working well with her. Abil. Up in the air on the outer side, and good mark taken by Seaford. Now look for the options further afield. It's an open forward 50. It's a couple of kicks to get it to that position though. Good defensive work by Pearce. Not able to get the ball away, but they are now. Pearce gets that kick away towards half forward. Too wide for McLeod, and we'll see a boundary throw in around the grounds, and still 1 point the margin. No goal scored in the final term between Darebin and Melbourne Uni, but it's Darebin in the lead by 1 solitary point.
One of the more interesting matchups we're looking at here, Bianca Jacobson is being tagged by Kate Gillespie-Jones. So it's actually two of the most exciting playmakers in the ground lining up on each other, Jacobson for Cranbourne and Gillespie-Jones for the Seaford Tigerettes.
So shutdown games required from both champions will make for an interesting contest. We've seen Gillespie-Jones have a bit of an impact early, but the ball's going to come back into the middle of Casey Fields here. Walker tackled, got rid of it, but no free kick was paid for disposing of it and still getting held on to. The umpire says, I've had enough, we'll call for a bounce. Just about to tick into 12 minutes played in this first term. Round 5 action, Swisse Wellness VFL Women's, live on vfl.com.au as the Eagles will press forward again. That kick coming from Wilds and hitting up the superstar herself in Kirsten McLeod. She will go back. We've seen she's had a boot on her in weeks gone by. She will kick this from just on the paint of 50, you would think. Options inside 50, and that's where she's going to go, and she hits up the hot spot, and coming up to take the great mark on her chest there was Bianca Jacobson. And she will now go back, line up, and have a shot on goal from 35 metres out, almost directly in front. And I won't say it to put it in the books, because the last time I did that, sitting alongside Anthony, it almost went out of bounds on the full. But you can be pretty confident in this. She comes in on the approach to put her team back in front. Looks okay off the boot, it carries and it's a goal. I won't doubt myself next time with Jacobson having the shot. Bianca Jacobson gets her first, and the Eagles, they now move to 1-1-7, leading Seaford 1 straight 6. We've gone 13 and a half minutes in this first term.
Well, Jacobson just caught Gillespie-Jones napping there, but she wasn't the only one. We saw there was about 40 metres of direct space for McLeod to just chip the ball into for any one of the forwards. She had Brown there, she had Timmins. Seaford got him more awake than that. Just got to, I know they would have expected McLeod to have the shot, but they've got to also anticipate that she can just chip it over to the next player along.
Round the ground scores. Darebin kicking their first goal of the final term, and now lead by 7 points over Melbourne Uni. Classic contest between those two teams up in Hamilton today. Ball on the outer side. Moody moves it forward for Cranbourne. Once again up to that contest between Jacobson and Gillespie-Jones. Jacobson now traps the ball. Gets round onto her right boot. Kicks it inside forward 50. Looking for the long lead of Cara Moody. Can't find her. Ball in that 50 arc. And we'll see the clearing kick over the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
No wonder that Cranbourne have been able to get so many forward entries, because Brianne Moody is dominating in the ruck. She's giving the Eagles first service of the contest every single time.
And you mentioned about that Gillespie-Jones-Jacobson matchup. Former teammates now, with
Indeed.
Jacobson moving over to the Melbourne Football Club in
Once
the trade
upon a
period.
trade period, yes.
Yes. So the former teammates, now opponents, they will be in the next season of AFL Women's. Talking about AFL Women's, the AFL Women's Under-18 Championships kicking off for Vic Metro and Vic Country today. And Darcy Guttridge, Cranbourne player, missing from today's team, and the Cranbourne team missing a number of players to that Vic Country team, Callum.
Yeah, Holly Whitford and Bridie Kennedy as well. I think Sean Clarahan, the Cranbourne coach, would have been quite right in wondering why they couldn't have staged the match during the bye round, because that's 4 really talented youngsters as he's missing. And they're also missing Jazz Grierson, who played for Melbourne during the inaugural AFL Women's season. Unavailable today, and they're going to need to replace her drive-off halfback.
They certainly will. Darcy Guttridge, the captain named for today's game, so rotating captains throughout the championships. They'll conclude up in the Gold Coast in July, but Darcy leading Vic Country to a victory against Vic Metro down at Simmons Stadium today, and one of the better players from all reports as well.
From all accounts, a very polished performance by the Country. They were 3 goals down at quarter time, and then from there on it was all their say.
They kicked 8 of the next 9 goals of that clash. In this clash, we're counting down towards quarter time as Cranbourne go forward once again. Seaford defence has worked really well since the early stages of the game. Handball over the top, Wilds. McLeod can't get it in her grasp. Good work by Gillespie Jones once again. Good work, bursting through the middle of the pack. That was Wilds once again, but off to the left-hand side, through for 1 behind. So another behind on the board for Cranbourne, 1-8. They lead Seaford 1 goal straight. 16 minutes gone in this first term. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 5 live from Casey Fields.
So the ball now to be cleared, defensive 50. 2-on-1 contest. Dropping the mark she really should have taken there was Tatham. So Seaford are going to press forward, had to be clean on her feet. Unable to do so was McDonald. It's going to be turned over here if the Eagles can be clean. Not quite. Diving in for a strong tackle there was Rogan. And she's helped her teammates get this clearance away again. Broadcast side of the ground. But it's Eagles everywhere. Collecting the footy was Garner. Goes with a strong handball to her teammate in Clarkson, who just hacks it forward off the deck. Left a lot to be desired there for Wilds, who was uncontested. At 1 clean handball and she was away. But nonetheless, we'll see it thrown in.
I wonder if it'll come back to haunt the Eagles. The amount of forward entry they've had this quarter for just the solitary goal, whereas at Seaford, 1 entry, they put it straight through.
20 metres around from Cranbourne's attacking end. 17.5 minutes gone in this first quarter. 1-8 leading, 1 straight 6 Cranbourne's way. Seaford, they're fighting hard defensively. They just can't break this 50 again. But Wilds with the kick around the body. It's a vacant goal square. No one competes on the line. Unlucky to go through the wrong side of the post. Cranbourne now move to 1-3-9. Leading Seaford 1 straight 6. We've gone just short of 18 minutes of play here in this first quarter. Round 5 action live on VFL.com.au for Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. As collecting the kick was Phillips. It goes to the square, and uncontested in there was Stephanie Brown. She gets her first for the afternoon. That's how you get a rebounding goal after you miss. And they now move to 2-3-15 to the Eagles, leading Seaford 1 straight 6. We have gone 18.5 minutes of play in this first quarter live on VFL.com.au.
Now that'll really burn Seaford, but it will also be a massive bonus for the Cranbourne Eagles. Steph Brown's been isolated deep in the forward line all season. They've been using her speed and agility around the contest to snag a few goals, and she's got another one here.
Around the ground scores, 6 points the margin late in the final term between Darebin and Melbourne Uni and Hamilton, and Darebin lead by that 6 points. Darcy Vessio's kicked 4 goals in that game. We'll keep you updated with that score.
Superstar
Timmins,
Vessio.
she is teammate of Gillespie Jones at Carlton in AFL Women's. Ball right in front of our broadcast position. Cunico unable to get it out. And the umpire says, give the ball to me, we'll come in and we'll have a ball up. So counting down the last 60 seconds of this first term. Anthony Stangetts, Trent Knight and Callum O'Connor with you this afternoon as we twilight football in Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. Ball going nowhere, and we'll have another ball up. So just the one game separating these two teams. Seaford searching for that first win of the season. And Cranbourne breaking their duck in the last round up against the Box Hill Hawks. They had to do it tough. They conceded first 3 goals of the game, but it was the only 3 goals of the game that Cranbourne conceded, going on their way to a 13-point win. As Seaford on this broadcast side wing. Cox, it's the handball over the top. Carlson gets a kick away. Time beats Seaford.
They were closing in. They had Lawrence as well as Burry all burning forward through the forward 50, and if they'd been able to just pick the ball up there, I think it was Rogan just getting that last touch for the Seaford Tigrettes. So they were able to get it inside cleanly, might have had that second one on the board.
So 9-point margin at quarter time. Cranbourne 2-3-15 leading Seaford 1 goal straight 6. Our goal kickers till quarter time. Steph Brown and Bianca Jacobson 1 apiece for Cranbourne, and for Seaford their only goal scorer Danielle Lawrence. And limited opportunities in their forward half. That one movement inside forward 50 produced a goal for the Tigerettes, but at quarter time it is a 9-point lead to the home team of Cranbourne.
Welcome back, listeners, to the start of the second quarter here from Casey Fields live on VFL.com.au for round 5 action. Cranbourne taking on Seaford in the game of the round here. Trent Knight, Anthony Stangitz, joined by Callum O'Connor for Swisse Wellness VFL women's action. Cranbourne 2-3-15, leading Seaford 1 straight 6. Cranbourne kicking to the right-hand side of the screen for this second term. As congested play in the middle of the ground, Hosking does well to trap it. Just as it spills out, the umpire calls for a bounce.
And again,
so we saw strong signs from Cranbourne in the first term. Seaford going at a 50% forward 50 entry to scoreboard. Strike rate though, not bad odds if you can get in there more often, but McLeod does well. Collects on the paint of 50, kicks it in towards her teammates. It's got to be a 2-on-2 contest here. Brown has to be strong, couldn't quite control it. Jacobson has to trap Gillespie Jones, but she does well to get a handball away. Barker, long kick, dangerous kick to the outer side. Taking the mark there was Nicole Garner for the Eagles, who looks up, lowers the eyes, and that's a beautiful pass to Sylvia Marsh. Strong lead there. She'll go back and she'll have a shot on goal from 35, 40 metres out, almost directly in front. We've played 1 minute into the second quarter.
And already a sharp forward entry. They didn't just bang it straight up the line there, Cranbourne. They worked it out, they moved it around, and a really strong lead by Marsh. And look where she is now, directly in front, all of 30.
As she makes her approach, goes very close to the lady on the mark, we should say, but it doesn't affect the result. It's her first for the afternoon as well. Marsh gets her first. Cranbourne's third. They now move to 3-3-21, leading Seaford 1 straight 6. We've gone a minute and a half in this second term.
Yeah,
Round 5 action, Swisse Wellness VFL Women's on VFL.com.au.
It'd be easy to point the finger at Jenna Barker, a big kick across goal there to affect the turnover, but Kate Gillespie-Jones' look-away handball really did sell her up the creek, missed her by a couple of metres.
And just to update our watchers at home of the other match, round 5, the other Saturday game, it was Darebin 5-4-34 defeating Melbourne Uni 4-4-28. So big result. 2 of the last 3 goals going the way of Darebin, and Darebin kicking the only goal of the final quarter. Darcy Vesio kicking her 4th during the final term at the 11.5-minute mark, and getting them a much-needed win for the Falcons, and first defeat of the season for Melbourne Uni, Callum.
Diamond Creek, the last unbeaten side standing, but just shows the mental strength that Darebin have, where they're 2 or 3 wins behind Melbourne Uni. They can still finish off because they know how to win, and they expect to win.
Yeah, a couple of handy additions. Eb Marinoff during the week from Adelaide's premiership team. Oh, good work in defence by Seaford. They cut off the pass. And also Asta O'Connor, I believe, made a return today from injury.
Well, it's an injury during AFL season. She also played none of the 2016 VFL season, as there's a turnover again affected by Seaford and Cranbourne's forward 50, and Timmins lining up 25 out on the 45, and this would actually push it out to a 21-point ball game.
So Timmins, the captain, lines it up just short on the distance. Here's an opportunity for Cranbourne in the goal square. Great work by Seaford defending. First to the football, Barker. Gillespie Jones overran it. Ball goes over the line. Jenna Barker just happy to see it over the line. And we'll see a boundary throw in deep in the right forward pocket.
Interesting matchup early on. Courtney Clarkson returning for her first match of the season for Cranbourne, but Michelle Goodwin doing a really good lockdown on the key Eagles forward.
And the boundary throw in.
Neither ruck's able to get their hands on it, but Seaford will bring it away nonetheless. Jones, long penetrating kick inside the centre square at Casey Fields, but there's just a nest of Eagles sitting in there waiting for it. Kick back inside forward 50 comes from Brianne Moody to the hot spot, 40 metres out directly in front, and there's going to be a free kick going the way of Cranbourne. I think that was for a too high, but the superstar herself, McLeod, will happily collect it. She'll turn around and she'll go back and she'll line up. And the best part about Cranbourne's shot on goals this evening, especially in the second term, is they're all come from directly in front.
Well,
but that one left a lot to be desired there from McLeod as she tries to hit up Jacobson. Has to hit her on the rebound. 1-2 working well. That's a strong tackle. Holding the ball, not paid. Gillespie Jones did really well there. Getting the clear and kick away though was Carlson. Out of wing now. With very small crowd attendance on the outer side. But the ball's going to be kicked back into true centre wing. And a really nice mark there by Hosking. She plays on quickly, takes a quick bounce and then hacks it inside forward 50. That's a 5-on-1 contest here. The Eagles have got numbers everywhere. Pearce running back towards the boundary line, but the boundary line wins out. And we will see it thrown in on the paint of 50. Seaford's scoring end of Casey Fields. Round 5 action live on VFL.com.au.
So you can see Seaford setting up the sort of defensive wall that Cranbourne did so well in the first quarter. Already lining up there. We can see Adams, we can see Rogan. They want to be there for the quick kick out for the Eagles and then to drive it in long to the waiting forwards.
So Tilly does well to get the tap out. Kicked inside forward 50. It wasn't the best kick, but Tilly's going to take the mark nonetheless. After she did, no, my apologies, listeners, it's Carlson. After Tilly did some pretty brave work to try and crash that rucking contest as well. Carlson's going to go back. She looks confident from 45 metres out. It's not going to carry the distance, but that is a fantastic, courageous mark. Coming in from behind there was Sheldon, and she will now go back and line up from 15 metres out on a 45-degree angle. And this will be their first score, if she can register one since the 11th minute mark of the first quarter. As she makes the approach. It looks good off the boot, and it is. She's happy with it, and so is the goal umpire. Sheldon gets her first for the evening. And that's also Seaford's second for the match, their first of the quarter as well. They now move to 2 straight 12, trailing Cranbourne 3-3-21. We've gone 6.5 minutes of play in this second term live on VFL.com.au.
Really was a fantastic contested mark. She was shorter than both her opponents there in Timmins and Tatham, but really set herself hard, put the hands out and outmarked the pair of them. Fantastic stuff.
It's a goal apiece in this second term. Great conversion rate for inside 50s for Seaford in this game as Moody gets the tap down. Diving in, Thomas trying to extract it. Diving in over the top as well. Seaford and will have a ball up in the middle of the ground. So Moody
doing all the dominance in the ruck, got to say. I don't think she's lost a single tap out yet, just launching herself over Tilly at every opportunity.
So the handball comes out stolen. Great work by McDonough. Taken to the ground by Moody. Great defensive effort by her, stopping Seaford in their tracks. And we will have a ball up again.
7.5 minutes played in this first term. If you're in the area, come down and support local women's football. Fantastic conditions out here at Casey Fields. As we see the sun set over the back of oval number 2 as the ball spills out. And hacking it forward was Hosking. Oh, doing really well there was Walker. She'll run into an open goal from 10 metres out. She goes bang. And in the space of 2.5, or in 2 minutes, Seaford have gone bang, bang, and they reduced the margin back to only 3 points. They are now 3 straight, 18, trailing Cranbourne 3-3-21. 8 minutes gone in this second term.
Well, whatever has happened here, Brett Alexander, the Seaford coach, will be very happy with the efficiency of their forward entry. That's 3 goals straight from 4 entries. And something else, Georgia Walker, she's just a young punk. Plenty of scrap as we saw there, but you can see why Collingwood went to get her as a top-up player after Kendra Hall was injured. Beautiful poise, wrong-footed her opponent, quick goal on the run, great stuff.
Ball back in the middle. Seaford leading the race for the football. Going soccer style. They're losing ground at the moment on that outer side. As Cranbourne stop them in their tracks. Handball comes out though. Good work. Onto Cox. The fog rolling in here at Casey Fields. Handball in towards the middle. Hosking leading in the race for the football. Plenty of Eagles surrounding her in the middle of the ground. And we will have a ball up. So just the 3 points the margin. 9 minutes gone. Second term. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Action tonight live from Casey Fields on VFL.com.au.
Ooh.
Trying to get the ball out of the middle. Now they've got open space. Cranbourne go inside forward 50. Jacobson missed the kick. Trying to push it forward against Wilds. Over the top, Jacobson. This is going to be a great contest. Goodwin again.
That was a good fend off. She missed her, but she didn't need to get her nonetheless.
Over the football at defensive 50 now, Seaford. Jacobson just drifting her way back. Gillespie Jones just seeing that in the background. As the handball came out from Walker. Over the football. And here, almost pushed in the back. Gets it again. Dispossessed. Ball the call. And free kick going the way of Cranbourne. Garner to take it. Jacobson provides the lead. Goes with the centering kick though. Jacobson back into that position. Comes out at the back of the pack. Good work by Gillespie Jones reading it. Over the football, Barker. Teaming up well now. Gillespie Jones works her way out of defence. But not much to kick to. And the mark taken by Cutting.
Had to be brave, Cutting it was, and there's no one on the mark, so she'll just take this to 60 out. She'll pop it up into the hot spot, 25 metres out, and that is a brilliant mark. Not paid, umpire said play on. Handball's come out, but now a throw's been paid against McLeod. Gee, she was stiff twice there.
Courtney Clarkson, I thought she had the first grab on that, and I thought she had the second.
Certainly to bring it down after being the lady in front as well, but nonetheless, Seaford will collect that free kick. And Jones now will take the mark deep inside her own defensive 50, right hand back pocket. She goes long. Not even watching the football there was Burry, but she was the option nonetheless.
There was a little bit of a scrap happening between Cutting and Burry, and I think Burry was very much regretting her decisions. But she wants to go in again now. Cutting's bristling.
Those that say the girls don't want it as much as the boys, you need to come down and have a look at local women's footy. If anything, they fight harder for it. But Cranbourne, they're going to get this disposal away, you would think. Clean hands required by Olsen. Couldn't trap it. Players dive over the top of the football. Spills out. Olsen has to be brave now. Tries to crash through three. Couldn't do so. Ball spills out to the bottom of the pack now, and the umpire finally calls for a bounce. Plenty of feeling in this game. 11 and a half minutes gone in this second term.
Well, Carly Berry's off the ground getting her nose looked at, so I dare say that Cutting's just slipped the heel of her palm up into her face.
Quick headbutt probably wouldn't have gone astray as long as it wasn't noticed. We don't support violence here on VFL.com.au. As the ball comes forward now via Tatham. Doing well to work her way underneath it was Timmins. Lucky not to give away the holding the ball free kick there. Diving over the top of it there was Tilly for Seaford. They've got the numbers around the football, the Tigers, if they can just work it out. Now they do. Anir does well to get a kick away, but it's a 3-on-1. Oh, coming in from the side of the pack there. Had to be brave there. For Seaford, I think it was Rowland that came in and applied the knock, but going down was Olsen, and she is not in a good way.
The feeling has gone up in this one, boys. It's been a very freewheeling game so far. Plenty of passing around the ground, but in the last few minutes, it's become a one-on-one contest, straight up the packs, and we're seeing Carly Berry's gone off for the Tigerettes, but Leah Olsen for Seaford, she's coming off now with her head in her hands. Yeah. She would be a big loss. Her first few performances in the first 4 rounds have been fantastic for Cranbourne.
So it looks like Olsen's coming off, and she's clutching at her left eye as well, so maybe a poke to the eye or a knock to the eye or just above the eye as well, but that's going to be nasty, and she'll definitely feel that one for a while. Back with the play though, on the outer side. Sorry to cut you off, Callum. Seaford have got all the numbers around this ball now. Kick up towards their own half forward, coming from the way of Barker. But there's just Eagles sitting at the bottom of it waiting for it. Wilds, hasn't she been inspirational this afternoon? Kick comes out towards her teammate in Moody. That was the Cara variety. She kicks up, McLeod. Well, we've seen her take some strong marks in her time, but that was pretty special on half forward. And she does the magic dance once again. Kicked inside forward 50 as the umpire collects himself up off the deck. Timmins has to run onto the football, gets a quick handball away. Open vacant goal square if they could get it there. No, Seaford's defence pressing well. And now they're going to get the clearing handball away. Diving over the top of the football there was Barker. And now she gets a handball away to Lawrence and it comes out. 3-on-1 contest in the middle favouring the Eagles, and that's who wins out. It comes back inside forward 50. Trying to get away under the football there was Jacobson. Couldn't quite do so. The shot on goal coming from her nonetheless. Through for one behind though.
Well, Hayley Wilds now has got been racking up the behinds for the Eagles. If you look at the scoreboard, that is her third.
So that's their first score in 12 minutes. The Eagles, they now move to 3-4-22, leading Seaford 3 straight 18. We've gone 14 and a half minutes of play in this second quarter.
Well, Michelle Goodwin's holding down this defence for Seaford. She's doing a fantastic job as, again, they're going to be put under plenty of pressure. Tatham goes inside forward 50, looking for cutting. Well, that was Brown. Seaford trying to extract it out of their defensive 50 through Daly. And ball goes over the line. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Just having a quick look down at Cranbourne's bench. Looks like Olsen hasn't even taken her place on the interchange. She's been rushed straight into the change rooms to get that eye looked at. So a serious cut above the eye may impede her vision for the rest of the game as well, as the Eagles are going to press forward towards goal again. That kick coming off the side of the boot there from Kuniko, through for one behind. Sorry to sort of jump in and steal your thunder there, Anthony.
No problems.
But now they move to 3-5-23. The Eagles leading Seaford 3 straight 18. We've had 8 scoring shots to 3, and you'd think if half those behinds were goals, this one would be done and dusted, and that is the biggest mistake you will make in football. And if anybody in the area tunes in to the local Saturday afternoon footy, then you will know that that is my absolute pet hate. Standing on the goal square line to kick the ball back in, there's no excuse. But a ball up and tap down, and Seaford will now try to clear defensive 50. Diving in over the top was Jacobson. Couldn't control the football. Handball coming out there from Cox. Ball spills out towards the boundary line, and now the Tigers are going to get this clear and kick away. They've just got to slow the tempo of this game down, you'd think. But coming through the middle of the ground, taking a bounce, and just running away with the football at the moment was Georgia Walker. She kicks up towards her own half forward, spills out the back. It's a foot race. Who wants it more? Carlson overruns it. Bending over to get her hands on the football was Rowland. Gets a quick handball away out to her teammate there in Bury. She kicks it towards the hot spot. Diving in over the top of the football there was Mandile. She couldn't quite control it, but she gets the second effort. Mandile off the side of the boot. No, partially smothered off, so clear and kick will come out from Cranbourne. Dropping a mark she should have taken with Hosking. And it eventually spills out of bounds, and we will see it thrown in. An exciting passage of play in the last 3 minutes. 17 minutes gone in this second term. We have a 15-point ball game, 5-point ball game, 3-5-23. The Eagles leading Seaford Tigers 3 straight 18.
And just quietly, the crowd building below us, so you can hear a bit of the feeling ahead of the Peter Jackson VFL women's match coming on after us.
Correct. Yeah, Casey versus Footscray and Peter Jackson VFL right after this match, 7 o'clock tonight. You can hear that game on Casey Radio this evening, 97.7 FM. Still inside that forward 50 arc. And Seaford trying to keep their percentages intact for their forward 50 entries.
Well, it hasn't left yet.
It hasn't, correct.
Forward from Walker. It is dancing on the edge of the arc.
And now it's out. And straight back in again. Here's an opportunity for Seaford. Can't take the mark. Handball, good work getting the ball on was Rowland. Cranbourne now under pressure inside their forward 50. As the ball goes forward once again for Seaford. And quickly retreating outside their defensive 50, Timmins. Good work. Got the handball away. Trying to set up her teammate. Unable to do so. Still 50 metres out from the Seaford goal. They trail by 5 points, nearing half-time. We know nearing the quarter-time break, they were charging towards their forward 50. Had a bit more time on their hands this time. But just over 60 seconds, counting down towards half-time. In this round 5 clash, kick forward by Lawrence. Goal in the first quarter, sets up her teammate. Here it opens up. No, didn't get the bounce. Handball comes out. Rowland now. Gets it back. Cox to Rowland. And got the kick away. Walker. And have put it through. So they make the most of their opportunities in their forward half again, do Seaford. And they're a chance, leading by 1 point of going into the halftime break. in front, 4 goals straight, 24. They lead Cranbourne 3-5-23, and again, making their opportunities inside forward 50
and
count.
the most relieved player on the ground would be Caitlin Cox, who decided to let that incredible off break from Lawrence try to roll through, and it almost didn't. She could have tapped it through on the line, but she's a narrative player. She really liked to see the highlight, but she was able to win the handball straight to Walker. 2 1/4 for Georgia Walker, having a good one.
They certainly earned that, but one quick volley kick and it would have been a little bit easier for them. As Cranbourne now are going to feel the pressure as we count down the final 10 seconds of this second term. Round 5 action of Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Game of the Round live on VFL.com.au. Thank you for tuning in as we hear the halftime siren. Well, Cranbourne will be disappointed with their efforts in that second term. We saw them go into quarter time with a 9-point lead, and then Seaford come out and just went bang, 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 a triple barrel of goals to take a 1-point lead into half-time. 3-5-23 of the Eagles, trailing Seaford 4 straight 24. Our goal kickers so far, Georgia Walker with 2 to a name, 1 to Lawrence and Sheldon apiece for Seaford. And for the Eagles, we have singles to Steph Brown, Marsh and Bianca Jacobson. That's half-time here from Casey Fields. If you're not doing anything in the area, get down and support a local VFL women's football. We have a blockbuster on our hands here. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back after half-time. Make sure you stay put on VFL.com.au. We'll be back for the second half right after this. Welcome back, viewers, for the start of the second half here at Casey Fields. Round 5 action. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's live on VFL.com.au. Trent Knight, Anthony Stanget's joined by Callum O'Connor as Cranbourne kick inside forward 50 quickly out of a free kick out of the rucking contest. 3-5-23 of the Eagles trailing Seaford 4 straight 24. A late goal coming from Georgia Walker in that second term put the Tigers in front. And we're going to see a ball up just inside the paint of 50 for the Eagles, and that's a great centre clearance. Wilds runs into an open goal, missing to the left-hand side of the sticks. And
4 straight behinds for Hayley Wilds.
A behind. So Cranbourne now 3-6-24, tied with Seaford 4 straight 24. As Tigers dangerous kick to bring it back in. Does the job though, clears the pack. Broadcast side of the ground. Kick coming forward there by Hosking. Running it over the boundary line. Oh, thought she'd done well with herself there to keep it in was Kuniko. But the boundary umpire was onto that, and we will see a throw in.
Eagles up against her. We've had confirmation Leah Olsen, who was injured in a collision with Jazz Rowland halfway through that second quarter, has been taken to hospital for a concussion. So they are now fighting against it. It's hard to overstate how important Leah Olsen's been in defence in replacement of Danielle Hardiman. She's been a fantastic warrior for them in the first 4 rounds.
So ball at half forward for Cranbourne again. Wilds been lively in the opening stages of this term. Finds McLeod. Night football here at Casey Fields. Part of a triple header of action today. Jacobson couldn't take it. Handball comes back out. They get it on now to Marsh. They get it around. McLeod on the run. Plays on quickly and puts it through. And the Eagles are back in front. They kick their 4th of the evening. And they move on to 4-6-30. They lead Seaford 4 goals straight, 24. And this time making the most of their opportunities, Callum.
Well, you see, when they move it quickly inside and when they unleash Kirsten McLeod, who's been really dominant without hitting the scoreboard yet, she's now hitting the scoreboard. This is what Seaford have got to watch out for. Although they've been able to lock down the talls in Cranbourne's forward half, the smalls like McLeod and the smalls like Wild are going to do them damage if they can't stop them.
So 2.5 minutes into this third term, we've seen 2 inside 50s for the Eagles, and they've hit the scoreboard both times. Seaford now look to get the clearance, but they're going to be penalised for a throw. I don't know what Sean said to them at 3/4 time, but the Eagles have come out, and they are raring to go. The long penetrating kick from Tatham inside forward 50. Jacobson couldn't quite bring down the mark. Does well to get her own roving though. Short handball out. Finds her teammate there in Moody, who goes to the outer side. They're going to have to be clean here. Moody does well to get her own roving. Short handball away. McLeod stands up in a strong tackle. The umpire says that ball's not going anywhere, and we will see another bounce. 3.5 played in this second term. Live on VFL.com.au. Thanks to Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Action Round 5. Live from Casey Fields as Seaford bring the ball back to centre half back, but the Eagles have got all the numbers around the ball as they look to bring it back inside forward 50. Standing up in a mark there was forward. She kicks inside. Mark not paid. Unsure why. Handball comes out, but it's been intercepted really well there by Hosking. Geez, hasn't she had a lot of the ball this evening? Comes out. Thomas dives over the top of it. Couldn't get a handball away. Going through was Marsh. Contested play on the outer side. Seaford have got numbers around the ball. If they can just get one clean disposal away. Congested play once again on the outer side, just outside the centre square, forward half for Cranbourne. 4 minutes played. We will see yet another bounce.
Yeah, boys, we've got nothing to complain about the weather for our broadcast. Normally the rainy land of Cranbourne, but we can see as far as we want to in our, from our broadcast position. Beautiful night for footy.
Well, ball at half forward again for Cranbourne. Seaford defence put under pressure. At that forward 50 arc, the umpire will come in and we'll have another ball up. Earlier today, it was Darebin getting back-to-back victories, defeating Melbourne Uni, their first defeat of the season, a 6-point win to Darebin in the second of 2 grand final rematches for this year, and currently sitting at 1 apiece, Callum.
Well, I think the most interesting thing about that is you show how important Darebin when it gets clutch. And that, as you said, Anthony, 2 of the last 3 goals, I believe, and Darcy Vesio standing up with 4 in a low-scoring contest. They know how to win, the Falcons. They really are used to it.
Pushing her way up the Choose Tap leading goal kicking tally. And look out for that on Tuesday, the leading goal kickers of the round, and 4 goals leading the way. In our game, Georgia Walker leading the way with 2 goals so far for Seaford. As Cranbourne clear from defence again. Seaford just raffling it. Kate Gillespie-Jones bullocking her way towards the broadcast side wing. It comes out wide. Find Jones in front of McLeod again. And we will have a boundary throw in ticking over to the 6-minute mark of this 3rd quarter. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 5 action live from Casey Fields. Anthony Stangett's Trent Knight and Callum O'Connor with Cranbourne leading by 6 points.
And it's good to see the main matchup for today, Kate Gillespie-Jones and Bianca Jacobson. They've moved out of Cranbourne's goals. They're now up and down the wing. 2 fantastic athletes who are going to burn that ground up.
So Cranbourne have got all the numbers around the football. Overrunning it there was Kuniko. Couldn't quite get Clean's hands on it. Congested play with a strong tackle applied there by Garner. And we will see a bounce right on the Casey Field painted logo here. Broadcast side of the ground. Good crowd in attendance. If you're in the area, come down. It's free entry for the women's football this afternoon. So come down and enjoy some local VFL women's football.
I think you got till 6 o'clock before they put people on the gate.
Before they put the clock on for the Peter Jackson VFL game this evening. Casey Demons taking on Footscray. That will be brought to you live on Casey Radio 97.7 FM as Seaford look to press forward again.
Bring your beanie and gloves.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. It is cold, but it's not blistery or wet. So unusual conditions out here at Casey Fields. As the ball's kicked forward by a Burl for Seaford, but it's going to be turned over on the paint of 50.
Bit clumsy
and the Eagles will bring it back again.
Bit clumsy in the first few minutes, Seaford. They've given away 4 frees and now there's a 50-metre penalty. Oh. And look, given the amount of dominance that Cranbourne are generating out of the middle and how dangerous they're looking going forward, they cannot afford to give away frees.
That's 2 kicks, that 50-metre penalty. 1 clean kick, but with players swamping her as they were, Rebecca Pearce was going nowhere other than short, but that one goes long inside forward 50. Brown overruns it. Coming up to meet it was Jacobson. Couldn't quite get there first, so Seaford have got the numbers around it. In the back, not paid. Unlucky not to be paid. That one was a Burl as well. Ball trickles out to the boundary line. No, doing really well to keep it in there was Garner. Kicks it to the hot spot. Vacant goal square. Bounces just the wrong side. Oh, and happy just to rush that one through on the last line. There was Jones. Cranbourne now moved to 4-7-31. Currently leading Seaford 4 straight 24. Yet to score in this 3rd term. 8 minutes gone in this 3rd quarter.
So good kicking in from Seaford. Kate Gillespie-Jones going to the outer side. Timmins unable to take the mark, but it comes out to the back. Pearce. Stolen by Seaford. Now they kick the ball forward. It was Lawrence going forward for the Targarettes. Mounting an attack. There's another 50-metre penalty.
Encouraging mark, I think that one was.
Seaford will go right up to forward 50. And a great opportunity to get back within 1 point. Long 50-metre penalty as well. That's what you like to see.
You want to buy real estate off this umpire. That was a very long 50.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. I want him to be my next everything that I need enlarged.
So they go goalward, drop short. Still inside their forward 50. Good work by Cranbourne by Moody. Defends well. Great defensive effort by the Eagles. Handball comes out. Not able to get clean disposal. And we will have another ball up inside that forward 50 arc for Seaford. For Seaford. Tapped down by Moody once again. Hosking made her way through. Couldn't take it with her. She's a tackling machine. Tackled her opponent. They quite often struggle to get up once she's gone through those packs, and there's 2 players down behind play. 1 of each. Cranbourne and Seaford as the ball on this broadcast side wing. Pack forms, and we will have a ball up. No, free kick's been found. Timmins to take it.
Thomas behind play as well, just gone down as well. Pretty ginger to get back to her feet.
I think that was Hosking going through that pack, taking out a teammate and an opponent at the same time.
Yeah, they take all comers these days. Jeez, McLeod's good, isn't she? She presses it just forward. Couldn't control it inside the field of play, though. Gets a quick hug and kiss on the cheek from the fence as well as she hands over the ball, and we will see it thrown in. 45 metres around from Cranbourne's goal. They haven't been the cleanest in front of the sticks at the moment, Cranbourne, but their entries inside forward 50 have been hard and fast.
And look, they are overwhelming, these numbers. I don't know, if we could have a look at the inside forward 50s, it would not be a stretch of the exaggeration to say that Cranbourne's had 3 times as many, would you say?
It would be almost close to it, if not 4. But Seaford have been able to hit the scoreboard when they do go inside 50, though. That might tell the story as this game goes on, as we've got a 7-point ball game. But coming out with the ball there was McDonough. Kicks it to the hot spot. Sitting at the back of the pack there, waiting for it was Goodwin. Does well to collect. Dangerous kick, though. Oh, neither player wanted it. They needed to let each other know. McDonough should have communicated with Clarkson. Both of them were uncontested, so they took each other out of the contest. McLeod does well. She says, I don't care how many of them are with me, I'll take his all on. And she cleans up the pack and causes a bounce. 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Geez, you'd have her in any team at the moment, McLeod.
Well, the amount of the dangerous possessions that she's getting around the ball, she's now affecting them inside forward 50. She's got the goal already in this third quarter. She's looking to push for another one.
And as we see a bounce, and probably Tilly's first knockout or tap out of a rucky contest has gone straight out of bounds. Just bounced inside the field of play, so we'll see it thrown in.
Beggars can't be choosers, mate. She's off to the start. She's got the first one.
The first tap out. Left a lot to be desired for teammates, but a result nonetheless, I guess. 12 minutes into this third term. Cranbourne up by 7 points at the moment, and they have the ball inside 50. As we see Goodwin trying as hard as she might, as well as Anir, to come off that pack with another bounce.
It's an interesting compromise Seaford have made here. They were favouring bringing their forward line deep, but now they're all pushed up to defensive wing and beyond. So they were early on being able to get the fast break, which helped them when they didn't have many inside forward 50s. Now they're playing it on Cranbourne's terms.
Well, it was Brianne Moody with the tap down, the massive tap down, the second effort, the third effort. And on the fourth effort, she's received the free kick. And let's see, has she got this distance in her to extend the margin? She hasn't. Top of the goal square. Looking for the kick from Brown, couldn't get it. At the back of the pack, sock it off the ground. I think that's Clarkson. It is. Clarkson puts it through. Soccer off the ground, and the 5th on the board for Cranbourne. So exerting their dominance during this quarter, slowly but surely. 5-7-37. They lead Seaford 4 goals straight 24.
Well, Seaford yet to win a match this season, but they're not going to be able to do it if they can't stop the forward entry Cranbourne are getting. Another thing there, Clarkson stayed down. Her opponent, Goodwin, who's been fantastic all day on her, went up in the contest, leaves Clarkson to tap that very simple goal through.
Scoreless in this third term so far, the Seaford Tigers as well. As Callum mentioned, you're not going to win many games by letting the opposition score, but you've also got to be able to do it yourself. But here's an opportunity now. They press out towards their own half forward. It's a 2-on-1 foot race. Who wants it more? Oh, that was brilliant. Cranbourne win out. Kuniko, she's got the pace about her. Gets a handball away. Sells her teammate into some trouble. But they work it well in numbers to the Eagles. True centre wing. Taking the mark on her chest there was forward. No, my apologies, listeners. It was Phillips. And she kicks it back into the middle of the ground. And it was a dropped mark there by Wilds, but she's got the support to press. Look at the run and carry there of forward. Kicks inside 50. Jacobson pushed in the back. No free kick paid. The umpire's letting this one go. Handball comes out the back. No, he's pinned her for holding the ball. McLeod stiff. We saw a mark in the second quarter taken off her and then pinned against her in the second term, and now she's been stripped of that one. And Seaford will now bring it away again on the outer side. Interesting kick. Left a lot to be decided for Brisbane. Had to work hard. Had to go back for a second effort. Did really well. Now she collects it again. Gets a handball away to Rogan, who works her way around to opponents and kicks it up towards her own half forward. But sitting underneath it nicely there was Brianne Moody. And that's a better kick towards the middle. Had a bit of more penetration on it, but Seaford have got the numbers around the ball, but they don't want it. They want to go the player. Cranbourne are going to press now through Thomas. We saw it cop a knock, but now she's getting her hands on the footy again. Moody, Brienne kicks it forward up towards her own half forward. And geez, you can't let her take marks like that. If you're going to sit there and wait for Alicia Johnson, just tap it to herself and take a clean, uncontested mark, then you need to have a look at who her direct opponent is. And she's now called to play on. She goes backwards to come forward. That long kick coming from Wilds. Long penetrating kick. Overcooked it for McLeod. Sitting at the back waiting for it, though, was Wilds. She couldn't quite trap it. Does well on the outer side. Gets a handball away. Going back to meet it was Johnson. Does well. Clean pick up. Handball back inside. Finds behind her. Goes backwards once again. Oh, unable to control it. Coming through to try to collect it for her was Walker. Couldn't do so. So going out to meet it there was Steph Brown. Single goal to her name so far. Kicked off the ground, unable to collect it again. And we will see it thrown in. 16 minutes gone in this third quarter. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 5 action live on VFL.com.au.
At this point in time, I think we're starting to see the absences in the Seaford team are really hurting them. Natalie Plain, Kim Ebb and Danielle Hardeman all injured in the AFL season. Also lost Kate Thompson from their VFL squad, a key defender from last season. 4 down. And I will say, however, Cranbourne, we have talked, they're fantastic youth girls players who aren't playing today. So arguably equally disadvantaged and still holding the lead.
Yeah, they've covered them well, and they've they've been one down on the bench for this second half. So they lead by 13 points. They've done all the scoring during this third term. Putting on 2 goals, 2 to no score. Ball on the outer side. Handball out in front. Clarkson trying to get it. Seaford now trying to mount an attack. They'd love to score before three-quarter time. They've got 3 minutes to do so. And ball just dropping between half-forward lines. Moody couldn't take it. She juggled it a couple of times. And here comes Hosking. Kicks it long up towards half-forward. This is where they need to break. They just need to get it over the top. They're breaking down at half-forward. If they can hold it in, reset, and make the most of this ball up. Cranbourne dominating at the clearances. Just unable, not allowing Seaford to get inside that forward 50. So here's another opportunity for the Tigerettes. Trying to get the ball out, but unable to do so. Handball comes out to the back. Barker, long kick, inside forward 50. Got the front spot this time. Opportunity to move it forward very quickly. Abil working it hard. Seaford, those averages that they had in the first half of their inside forward 50s, deserting them in this third term. And the umpire coming in once more to have a ball up.
Well, it's all very well to be efficient, but if they can't get it inside because they're getting smashed around the clearances.
So Rowland with the tap down. Open it up. Walker. Just given one of her opponents or teammates the Falcon. There's a ball again. Can they rebound back inside their forward 50 again this time, Seaford? There's no one in the forward half for Cranbourne at the moment. So this will be a kick and run by the Eagles as Jacobson handballs backwards. Too slick for a teammate. Kick forward by Barker. Here's an opportunity for Seaford in the forward pocket. Walker, what can she do? Got rid of it. Now they go goalward. Lawrence on the last line. And Wilds takes the mark for Cranbourne. And a chance for the Eagles to settle down before three-quarter time.
So Wilds uses broadcast side of the ground, ticking inside the last 60 seconds of this quarter. Oh, Gillespie Jones really thought she'd done herself really proud then, but no, the boundary umpire was in the best position to adjudicate, and he says, unlucky Dale, but you ran that one out of bounds. So we'll see it thrown in. 19:36 gone in this third quarter, live on VFL.com.au. Tap down. Seaford had just loved one hacked clear and kick forward, even a behind. They want to be able to put something on the board this quarter. as that's come out of bounds on the fall off the toe of Gillespie Jones, I think it was. No, it's come off Brisbane. Nonetheless, it'll be a Cranbourne kick. And there's the three-quarter time siren as Cranbourne came out in that quarter and they just dominated. Seaford unable to score in that that third term. Cranbourne had 2 goals, 1 added to their score. They go into three-quarter time, 5-7-37, leading Seaford 4 straight 24, stuck on their half. We have a 13-point ball game here on our hands. If you're in the area, you've got 10 minutes to get down here for free entry for Casey Fields this afternoon. We'll take a short break here for the three-quarter time break out here at Casey Fields. 13-point ball game. Thanks for sticking with us live on VFL.com.au. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the game of the round here on VFL.com.au, brought to you live, round 5 action in the Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Competition. Trent Knight, Anthony Stangertz, joined alongside by Callum O'Connor for the final quarter out here at Casey Fields. It is Cranbourne versus Seaford. Cranbourne going to 3-quarter time with a 13-point lead, 5-7-37. Leading Seaford Tigers 4 straight 24. Unable to score in that third term were Seaford. Cranbourne put on 2 goals, 1 apiece. As we see the bounce to commence this final term, and we see a very quick stoppage in play. Coming up from the bottom of that pack was Danielle Lawrence, and we will see a bounce.
Straight away, Jazz Rowland to move into the ruck against Brianne Moody for Seaford. So they've Madeline Tilley's had a tough 3 quarters against her. Going to try to something different.
As they press forward now, Cranbourne dropping the ball, not paid was Brown. Lucky to get away with it, hack kick forward, McLeod. No, that's Bianca Jacobson's taking the mark above her head. Good, strong, contested mark. As she will now go back and line up for her second shot on goal this afternoon. This one will hurt. If she can put this through, this will really send the sting through Seaford's camp. She'll be kicking this from 25 metres out, almost directly in front, 15-degree angle as she comes in, and she's put that one through. Well, in 1 minute, they've gone bang, and Cranbourne have almost put the sealer on this one already. They now move to 6-7-43, leading Seaford 4 straight 24. We've gone 60 seconds in this final term live on VFL.com.au.
It's very impressive considering not only their unavailabilities going into the match with Guttridge et al., Kennedy as well missing out in their youngsters for Cranbourne. They lost Leah Olsen before half-time, and they've just been able to dominate ever since. It's been a really fantastic effort. Not only their intensity at the ball, but their increased skill going forward. Something like that where McLeod burst out of the pack and hit Jacobson right up, 15 out.
Well, it's been a great performance by Cranbourne. Seaford kicking the last 3 goals of the first half of this match. And now Cranbourne have dominated the second half so far. They've kicked 3 in a row, 2 unanswered goals in the second term, and the first goal of this final quarter. Jacobson kicking her second of the match, joining Georgia Walker as the only multiple goal scorer on the park. Final term action here on VFL.com.au as they go forward once again, Cranbourne. Just get the feeling that this game in the final term might just open up for the Eagles. They're sensing their second win of the season, sitting in 8th spot at the moment. Unfortunately for them, one of the teams just above them, Darebin, getting their 3rd win of the season. So a team that they could have drawn level with, they won't. As the ball inside forward 50, Lawrence leading out in the race. Good work by Cranbourne off the half back line. They move it down the centre of the park. Great work again. Hoskin working hard. Bring it out wide. Now wide open spaces now. They get it up towards half forward. No free kick. Good work by Gillespie Jones. Trying to work hard for the football once again. McDonough. Ball out to the back of the pack. Anea. They go wide. They find Ebiel. So Ebiel looking for the short pass. Can't find her target. Cranbourne held without it. That was Marsh. Ball held up on this broadcast side wing. Just unable to get clean possession, the Eagles. They finally get a kick away, but it's all Seaford, but it'll be a down the field free kick. And ticking over to the 4-minute mark of this final term. It's a 19-point lead the way of Cranbourne.
So as we just tick into 4 minutes gone in this first quarter, that's a clever kick, but it's a foot race. Doing well to control it, just set up nicely there for Wilds, and she does well to dance around her opponent. Inside 50, Brown. Oh, and she's going to give away the 50-metre penalty. Yes, she has. You cannot push her over as she's standing up after the mark. That's beyond poor discipline play there by Sheldon. And Brown,
was
no,
gonna say that
you
was gonna
gave
be a
away that
short
50 inside the arc, so you're going to be taken to the line. Steph Brown will go back, and she will have her second goal on the board. If that had been a commentator's cursed miss, I would have walked off this pavilion and out of this venue, never to be seen again. But Steph Brown's kicked truly, and that's now 4 in a row, 4 unanswered goals to the Eagles. They now move to 7-7-49, leading Seaford, still stuck on their halftime score, 4 straight 24. We have now gone 9 minutes of play in this final term, live on VFL.com.au.
Now, I'm afraid it's time to call it, boys. I really can't see Seaford coming back here, but I do just want to point something out. Hayley Wilds will be possibly Cranbourne's best player in this second half. She's been winning the ball around the packs, huge boot forward. That was a great pass to set up Brown's second goal.
Still trying to work out where she's playing in this second half as well.
Wherever she likes, she's killing it. Have
There
a look
she
at
is
her. She's
again.
got it again.
They're everywhere. It's a position.
Wilds goes aiming up towards half forward. Seaford, though, with the attack. Hosking going to go it alone. Goes up towards forward 50 now. Looking for a target. Just can't find Abil.
No, she's brought it down.
She's taken it. Now inside forward 50 is where they've fallen down. And they just that next kick inside their forward 50 arc. Now they've got numbers. Timmins. Tackle to the ground. Ball the call, and a free kick will go the way of... So that was cutting. Goes the way of Seaford. A chance to add their first score of this second half. They go long towards goal. It's offline, off the hands of Moody. And through for the first score and the first blemish on the scorecard for Seaford. Their first score since the 19-minute mark of the second term. And they move on to 4-1-25, trailing Cranbourne 7-7-49, 6.5 minutes gone in the final term.
So they bring it out, broadcast side of the ground, the Eagles, pack flies, unable to control it, happy to see it out of bounds was Tegan Sheldon. And we will see it thrown in right in front of Cranbourne's coach's box here, broadcast side of the ground. Good crowd in attendance out here at Casey Fields. Of course, from 7 o'clock, Casey Demons take on Footscray. Last year's Peter Jackson VFL Grand Final replay. That will be brought to you live on Casey Radio 97.7 FM. As Roland was ridden into the ground from behind. You can hear from the jeers of the crowd, and in the back free kick, not paid. Running back to collect the loose football, though, was Brienne Moody. Couldn't control it. Does well to get a handball away now. Short chip kick was intercepted. Moody, she's been brilliant this evening. Tries to hit up her teammate there in Wilds again. And Marsh comes in and just says, no, if I can't have it, neither can you. And we'll push it over the boundary line and out of bounds once again. So another throw in, 85 metres out from Seaford's attacking end.
I think the players were anticipating that to be a throw in, which we did see it go out, but I think the whistle went when it was a ball up, which is why you had players, or two rucks 20 metres back from a very confused umpire who was waiting to throw it straight up.
As we see the ball's gone back inside forward 50 for Seaford. We've mentioned on numerous occasions this evening that when inside 50 they hit the scoreboard, but they just haven't been able to do it in this this second half.
It has dried up.
I think we had 6 or so. I would have loved to have seen the inside 50 count for that third term without a score, but it's just a sign of Cranbourne's defence as they're going to have to hold this one back again. As Seaford are pressing, coming out with the football there was Cox. Couldn't put boot to ball, but she gets a handball away and putting that one through. I think she might have gotten the 1-2 and Cox has claimed it. So she will have her first goal of the afternoon, and that is Seaford's first goal since half-time, since the 19-minute mark of the second term, in fact. They now move to 5-1-31, trailing Cranbourne 7-7-49. We are back to a 16-point ball game, and we have gone, I think it's 9.5 minutes of play here in this final quarter, live on VFL.com.au. Nope, that goal going to Rogan, the skipper. Puts her first one on the board. My apologies to the
keen
skip.
experienced eyes of Anthony Stangatz, because I did not see that win 150.
I just tried to keep an eye on her as she raced back towards the middle. As she's going to get her hands on the football once again, the captain. Over the football. Players diving in on top. And we will see another ball up. So nearly halfway through this final quarter of action. Round 5 Swisse VFL Women's. And plenty more coming up in store on Sunday. We'll run through that fixture very shortly as they go wide again. Seaford on the outer side. Berry up towards half forward. Ania been lively during the final term. Centering kick inside forward 50. Now they bomb it long. Here's an opportunity for the Tigerettes. Great work by Cranbourne. They're going to run it out for a defensive 50. It won't be pretty, but it'll work for them. And they're just happy to see it over the line. The boundary umpire was not ready to call it, but Fullwood was just happy to travel along with it and see the ball over the line.
Binder had no interest in keeping that in with a couple of Tigerettes bearing on her. She was happy just to chauffeur that ball over the line.
So boundary throw in. Ticking into the second half of this final term at the 10-minute mark.
I think we've had a ruck infringement. Non-nominated ruckman going up there, so Cara Moody's going to win the free for Cranbourne.
Let's see what she can do with it. She's going to bring it right in front of our broadcast position. Wasn't where I thought she was going to kick it, but it helps out her teammate. Rogan now gets the ball out to the back of the pack to Roland. Now Hosking over the football, working hard as she always does. Kick inside forward 50 for Seaford. But once again, as they have done for most of the night, Cranbourne stopping another attack.
Deep in defence, Hayley Wilds won the ball again.
Hosking's gone down behind play here as well with a limp, but she's up and moving.
It'll take more than that to stop her.
Yeah, definitely Seaford's best on ground in my opinion. As Cranbourne bring the ball out on the outer side again. But they're happy to see it over the boundary line. 18-ball game, 11 and a half minutes gone. One more goal for Seaford in the next 2 minutes maybe. You think maybe.
You want a bit of spice for the narrative, but they've only kicked 5, and it's 5 goals once. They've had 6 scoring shots all day. They need 3 or 4 in the last few minutes to make it interesting.
So at the 11 and a half minute mark of this final term, 3-goal ball game. Geez, wouldn't it be an interesting turn of events if we saw one kick quickly and it turned into a draw. Live on VFL.com.au.
You're right, Trent. It's the even 3, mate.
Round 5 action. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. Brought to you from Casey Fields under perfect conditions, under lights, no rain, no wind. What is this for Casey Fields?
This is
as
the
we
rainy
see
land.
a bounce.
This is unnatural.
No, it's almost unheard of it down here in Cranbourne as the ball comes forward and the woman of the hour, Wilds, gets another kick away, and that is picture perfect in itself.
Outside of the boot, Banana hitting a moving target. That's
she
unfair.
could almost do it blindfolded and hogtied at this point. She's in absolute fine form this evening as she goes out to the outer side. Going out to meet it there was Sylvia Marsh. A goal to her name this evening as well. Sorry, Shayla Marsh, I should say. My apologies. As Seaford press back towards their own half-forward flank, but Cranbourne's defence has stood up all evening, and they do so once again. Gillespie Jones unable to trap the ball in front of us as she just kicks it off the deck. Now Cranbourne have got the numbers to press forward. Jacobson pushed in the back, no kick paid. One clean kick and they're away. Here go the Eagles through the middle of Casey Fields. It's an open 50. Jones has got to be brave. Brown's got to get back and hit it. Hosking's got to do well. Does well to get around Brown. Long kick out towards the broadcast position. That's going to trickle away. Will the field umpire call this one deliberate? No. Oh, we'd almost see that in the AFL these days. That
much
ball
to the
travelled
consternation of the
25
Cranbourne
metres.
defence. That was... got a Cranbourne player down behind play. I think it's Marsh being held to her feet now on centre wing.
Yeah, so we've got 2 players down. We had Cara Moody on the outer side. She's just getting up gingerly, and you almost preempted the fact that Shayla Marsh was going to go down. Trent, she went down on this broadcast side wing, so the tall timber of Cranbourne just limping to the line at the moment.
Well, look, imagine if they finished the match 3 players down. That'd be something for the write-up.
It would be an impressive effort, and that's a very interesting throw-in as well. Brian Moody got uncontested use of that rucking contest, and her teammate was rewarded. So they'll claim this now. The Eagles, Nicole Garner, goes short, broadcast side of the ground, where she finds Thomas.
Going into defensive mode, haven't they?
Just chewing down the clock, you'd almost feel at this point.
Yep, the switch has been flicked, and they've gone defensive.
and put the blindfold on this girl. Wild's going to have the rest of the game on the bench. She doesn't need to do another thing all night.
She can
Kick comes forward. Steph Cutting's been one of the best on ground for Cranbourne this evening as well. But that
great
kick,
mark by the Seaford runner too.
that kick left a lot to be desired. Yeah, if only he could keep it as a stat. The trainer's got to get off the ground. She'll get cleaned up. Cranbourne have got the numbers. Wilds again. Coach, give her a rest. You got to keep her for next week. As she kicks the ball up, and McDonough's going to take the mark. And she will kick up the line, but that left a lot to be desired. Taking an uncontested mark was Rogan. The skipper's had an exciting final term, as she goes to a 2-on-1 contest. And now we're just playing kick to kick. Steph Cutting has taken the mark.
It's awfully congested on our broadcast wing. Not a lot of
Makes it
space
easy to
leading
see from our calling position, that's for sure. She goes up, 4-on-1 contest. Brown couldn't complete the mark, but now Seaford away, dropping the ball, not paid. Had to be brave there. Thomas did well to get a handball away. Cleaned up and crunched there was Phillips. Getting a hacked kick forward there for Seaford though was Jones. Kicks it up to a 2-on-1 contest, and claiming the mark was Garner. And she will now use the middle of the ground to clear.
Well, wide open space in the middle of Casey Fields. Well run onto by Pearce. Up towards half forward. Good work by Seaford once again. Sheldon kicks it out to the other side. It's going to be an opportunity for Pearce again on the outer side. But Ebil grabs it. But Cranbourne back in towards forward 50. Straight through the arms. But Hosking cleaning up. They had the numbers, but they've just got to pick up possession. They do so now, and they kick long on that outer side at the back of the pack. That was Lawrence. The Seaford edging ever so closer to their goal. The umpire will come in. Not just lit yet. He's letting the play go. Certainly letting the play go. They got a kick away, which was good work. Roland runs onto it. Went without it. Now at ground level. Plays towards the end now. The umpire comes in. He's found the free kick. And they'll go long fairly quickly. Late opportunity for Seaford with the clock ticking down towards the finale. Handball comes out. Gillespie Jones, a chance to get one back on Jacobson, who's kicked two. Ball goes out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in. 17 minutes gone, final term.
How do we see the matchup between Gillespie Jones and Jacobson, boys? Because Gillespie Jones, I feel she's limited Jacobson's impact around the ground, but Jacobson's been able to get 2 goals, which were crucial at crucial stages of the match. So who are we going to give the nod to?
Oh, I reckon it'd just be a points decision on Jacobson.
Yeah, I think Jacobson would just have her at the moment. The only reason for it is Gillespie Jones been quiet in too many patches as well. When she's been near it, she's been electric, but she hasn't done enough around the ground without Jacobson next to her. As a kick around the body.
How do you like that?
From, I think that was Gillespie Jones herself as well.
I hope. I think she's about 20 metres this way.
I think that was Lawrence in the forward pocket.
Just wait to confirm.
Just slapped it on the boot from the point post.
That was an unbelievable goal.
Almost touched the top of the goalpost. Had that much air on it.
And in her bright orange boots as well. She's happy with her own efforts there, but nonetheless, Seaford get the goal. They now move to 6-1-37, trailing Cranbourne 7-7-49. That goal coming in the 18th minute mark of this final term. We're back to a 12-point ball game.
2 kicks, 2 minutes.
As the goal kicker for that shot there coming from Arthur. Matilda Arthur gets her first for the evening, and now they're going to go again. Seaford inside 50. Oh, had to be brave there. Did really well, was cutting again. 18.5 minutes gone in this final term. Round 5 action live on VFL.com.au. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. Trent Knight, Anthony Stangetz, joined alongside in comments by Callum O'Connor. Picture perfect conditions out here at Casey Fields for what's been an exciting contest of VFL Women's football. As Seaford, Gillespie Jones, going to make one last attempt at goal. Within 2 minutes of play, a shot on goal around the body. And how would you believe it? Seaford are back. Tegan Sheldon gets her second of the evening. And now we're back to a 6-point ball game with a minute to go. No, Lawrence. Sorry, my apologies, listeners. We'll have to take that one off Tegan. Lawrence gets her second. And within a minute, Seaford have brought it back to within a goal. They now move to 7-1-38, trailing, oh sorry, my apologies, it's 43, trailing Cranbourne 7-7-49, 19 minutes played. We have a 1-goal ball game on our hands.
They got 30 seconds. The clock might just beat them. But we are in for a grandstand finish in what seemed a dead contest not 2 minutes ago. Moody, as she's done all day, wins the hit out. Can Cranbourne get the ball forward? If they do, it's game over. Seaford trying desperately to win it. They rugby scrum a few more inches out of it. Who's there to pick up for the Tigers? They need the quick burst out of the pack.
Time
Jones,
will be the enemy here as we
10
see,
seconds.
as we see the umpire finally call for a bounce. And without time on, hurry it up, umpire. Pay free kick in 50. Give him a shot after the siren. As they come forward, Hosking gets a handball away. No, there's the siren. Well, they pushed and they pushed. And we thought we were in for a blockbuster in that last 60 seconds. But Cranbourne, through all their class efforts and abilities, held on for a 6-point win. And in a contest that maybe at the 16-minute mark we said was about done and dusted, they just went bang, bang. And in the space of a minute and a half, they put 2 goals on the board and made it a contest and a half. But congratulations to Cranbourne. And they come away with the 4 points after that effort. 7-7-49, defeating Seaford Tigers 7-1-43. We'll get your final thoughts in a sec. Callum, goal kickers for this evening. Seaford, Walker had 2. Lawrence had 2. Singles 2. Rogan, Arthur, Sheldon as well. And for the Eagles, we saw Brown with 2. McLeod with a single. Clarkson 1. Marsh 1. Bianca Jacobson with 1 as well. In a contest that we thought at half-time would have been a little one-sided, definitely a 3-quarter. They come back and showed some grit, but an exciting game of football nonetheless.
Well, definitely a well-earned win for Cranbourne. I think they controlled much more of the contest than Seaford did. We've, of course, done to death the amount of forward entry they had. Could have won by 3 or 4 goals, and it wouldn't have been disproportionate. They lost Leah Olsen early on. They had plenty of absentees going into the match. But they've got their second win on the board now. They are climbing up the ladder, and poor old Seaford now stuck on the bottom. An agonising loss for them. They gave it a real good push late, but ultimately they weren't able to influence the contest. They were very much down on forward entry. Until that last quarter when they were able to pull some marks down inside forward 50, they weren't looking like they were getting close to goal in the second half. A loss that will burn them, but 6 points I feel in the end flattered them.
Yeah, and improved performance by Seaford. Their lowest losing margin of the season was 46 points, and that was in the last round up against VU Western Spurs. So a good performance. I think they had struggled to kick any more than 4 goals in a game as well. So to put those 7 on and to get so close to Cranbourne, a good result for Seaford, and an improved performance and positives to take out of the game for them.
Well, positives for both sides, I feel. So Cranbourne had the 4 points. Seaford, look, unfortunately it does seem that the players they've lost during the off-season and during AFLW have really impacted them, because they were pushing up the ladder in their inaugural VFL women's season last year. Unfortunately, it looks like they're going to struggle a bit more this year. Good chance to have a look at some of their good younger players, though. We saw Georgia Walker kick a couple of goals in that second quarter. She was really, really strong for them. Otherwise, still good efforts all around from, I think we look at another fantastic match by Kate Gillespie-Jones on Bianca Jacobson. Jazz Rowland was really strong, I thought, in the second half, but I think, Trent, what you were right when you said Sarah Hoskin was best on ground. She was their best 4-quarter performer.
Absolutely.
She was there all along.
Well. It's just absolute brilliant effort today. And you look at Cranbourne as well. I mean, it was a star-studded performance by all players, but I mean, we told the coach to blindfold her and hog tie Hayley Wilds. I mean, that second half was absolutely eccentric. She turned it on and almost won it single-handedly. Alicia Johnson was fantastic as well. Brianne Moody in the ruck gave her mid's best use of it. Steph Cutting as well. She's unable to get a goal on the board this evening, but she played really well around the ground. Bianca Jacobson was okay in patches. We didn't see too many exciting feats from her this evening. Got 1 goal to her name, but other than that, she was a little bit slower to the ball than probably we've seen in recent weeks as well. But And then, of course, the human cannonball and Kirsten McLeod. Just, it doesn't matter how many girls are on her. If she wants the footy, she's going to go and get it. So a fantastic performance by the Eagles, and their coaching staff should be more than pleased with their efforts today.
Next week for these two teams, Seaford taking on St Kilda at the Peanut Farm, and Cranbourne hosting Eastern Devils. Both games next Sunday afternoon. In Sunday action tomorrow, continuing round 5 in Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. VU Western Spurs hosting Geelong. Eastern Devils hosting Box Hill Hawks. That game on Casey Radio. The VU Western Spurs game live on Girls Play Footy Radio. And the final game of the round, rounding it out, St Kilda taking on Diamond Creek. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your assistance with the coverage. Callum O'Connor, Trent Knight and Anthony Stangetts signing off from Casey Fields, with Cranbourne 7-7-49 defeating Seaford 7-1-43, live here on VFL.com.au.